So today we are going to do a little bit of a follow-up from a past video I did on Twitter alternatives. I guess I should call it X now because Spaceman really wants to make Twitter a different thing, I suppose. I don't know why he did this. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's Elon, and realistically, he has always been the perfect example of why meritocracy has always and will always be bullshit. So today we're going to look at the newest Twitter alternative, which is BLUESKY. Now, for about the 500th time, everybody is looking around for a new Twitter X, whatever you call it, alternative, and there are multiple reasons for this. Some are fairly valid, such as the direction Elon is taking the platform, and the fact that he hired a World Economic Forum stooge, Linda Yaccarino, to be CEO of the whole fucking place, which is pretty much the biggest red flag you can have. As you can see here, Linda kind of wears her ties with the WEF on her sleeve pretty much. That is a fairly valid concern in my opinion. So for those of you who have apparently kind of lived under a rock or just kind of don't really tune in to the workings of the world, the World Economic Forum, the best way I can simplify and explain it is it's pretty much the billionaires club. One of the most perplexing things to me about the online world is just how many apparent people on the left to the far left seem to be completely unaware of the largest consolidation of bourgeois power the world has ever known. And if you don't believe me, just go ahead and go down to the Our Partners section right here. And the crazy thing is they have so many of them, they have to put it alphabetically. So just go ahead and check that out and see just how many corporations and moneyed interests are involved with this organization. But another big reason why everybody's looking to flee the Bird app, or I guess the X app now, is Donald Trump made a post. That's right, y'all. The Orange Man made a post on social media. And yeah, he just posted a mugshot. That's the only thing that happened here. And to be completely honest, if you don't think this is all political theater at this point, I don't really know how to help you. Let's not forget that this guy is the person convinced liberals are somehow secret Marxists and that the American government has become basically a communist regime and they're turning America into a communist country, despite the government being completely and utterly subservient to the rich and powerful and wealth inequality hitting historically high levels, all of which you can look up. You have Google, you're an adult, and I trust you. If it weren't for Democratic elites, Donald Trump never would have become president to begin with. It's a big club, and we're not in it. Anyway, since everyone's apparently completely incapable of muting or blocking one single user on a social media site, it's time to move on to an entirely different platform to shield themselves from the orange fascism, insert whatever liberal buzzword is popular today. So just to catch you up on a previous episode, I went through a bunch of Twitter alternatives, and it turned out that the overwhelming majority of them were just echo chambers, either left-leaning or right-leaning, and didn't really have a lot of diversity to them. Now, we're going to check out BLUESKY today. As I did actually get an account on here, you do need an invite code, and someone was kind enough to give me one. My condolences to BLUESKY for now having my presence on there, which they're already probably upset about. So today, let's go check out, is this a serious contender to X, Twitter, whatever the fuck it's called now? Or is it just another echo chamber? Now, one thing that is definitely deeply concerning that people have been pointing out on social media is BLUESKY's terms of service, which essentially gives a platform a perpetual and irrevocable license to all your content. BLUESKY can apparently delete your account for pretty much any reason, but then may refuse to delete it if you ask. And there is a dispute over the use of screenshots. Also, this is important as well, all disputes must be handled via individual arbitration. So, as I'm understanding it, class actions are pretty much off the table. Never a good sign, really. And oh boy, this looks fun. Automatic collection of personal information. We may collect certain information automatically when you use our services, such as your internet protocol IP address, user settings, cookie identifiers, mobile carrier, mobile advertising, and other unique identifiers, browser or device information, and internet service provide. Internet service provide. Okay, so on top of that, apparently they did not spell check this. We may also automatically collect information regarding your use of our services, such as pages you visit before, during, and after using our services, information about the links you click, the type of content you interact with, the frequency and duration of your activities, and other information about how you use our services. I'm sorry y'all, but right off the bat, right even before I load the home screen here, this is already quite a big red flag, but as always, please let me know in the comments how y'all feel about this. So without further ado, and without taking up too much more of everybody's time, without getting into the nitty and gritty of it, let's hop into BLUESKY. So it looks pretty much identical to Twitter right here. So we've got following, those are all the people you follow. Popular with friends, which... And then discover, which is apparently a tab to just kind of check out what's popular on the Blue app. Yeah, I don't know, Bird app, Blue app. Listen guys, that's the best I can do. So I didn't spend too long on the Discover tab before stumbling on my first Trump moved in, so I moved out. Hello, it's me from Twitter or wherever else. If Trump goes to an actual jail situation, he won't have a fake tan or makeup, and he won't have anyone to sculpt his long wispy hair. He's going to turn gray and either bald or just have scraggly ass hair. He's already ugly inside and out. It's going to be so fucking gross. So right off the bat, the first major thing I'm seeing on this platform is we have a likely unhealthy dose of Trump derangement right from the beginning. One of the funniest things I personally find about people online is that they'll do this thing where they desperately need to get away from a certain person or vein of propaganda one way or another, but then they'll just never shut the fuck up about them. Because as you can see here, Trump may not be on BLUESKY, but they're bringing Trump to BLUESKY. They're posting his screenshots for him and basically doing all his advertising for him. And of course, this is always a really good sign and not at all a red flag. People basically inferring that the World Economic Forum is a conspiracy theory on the right and that they want to bring in a cashless society, which is something, the last I checked, they've actually openly discussed. Oh, thank goodness. BLUESKY also has shitloads of accounts pretending to be doctors and gaslighting people on things that may or may not have happened surrounding the pandemic. So far we've got Trump derangement, your standard pay no attention to the man behind the curtain sort of posts about conspiracy theories, even ones that you can look up and verify are real, and COVID fear-mongering in 2023. Now, I wonder why people will be freaking out about COVID again. Oh, it absolutely could not have anything to do with a fall booster campaign coming up. It can't have anything to do with something that would enrich people's pockets. It certainly has nothing to do with making the rich richer and more powerful. No, that's just a conspiracy theory too. Don't look into it. And of course, no shitlib echo chamber would be complete without complaining 24/7 about Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore derangement syndrome has honestly gotten to the level where I feel like whenever they post his name, these people have to get a kickback of some kind. We're in a surge, so here's your reminder that while it's best to be infected 0 times, if you've been infected before, just do your best to avoid being infected again. You should always be trying to avoid your next infection. The damage adds up. Your body will thank you later. By the way, just yet another reminder that we still to this day have absolutely no diagnostic criteria to separate one mechanism of injury from another. Because this is going to be on YouTube and other platforms, I'm going to leave it at that so this channel doesn't get fucking nuked. But I'm pretty sure you can read between the lines and kind of get what I'm going at here. I'm not sure why, but there's also an oddly high amount of furry content. I'm not sure why. Yeah, okay. Not kink shaming everybody, but I don't really know. Yeah, and of course, here's George Takei. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's never a good sign when one of the most prominent shitlib celebrities in history is whining about Trump on your platform. Personally, I'd like a platform where people didn't talk about Donald Trump 24/7, because at the end of the day, I think he is the least of our worries. Trump got into office, he changed absolutely nothing. He didn't drain the swamp, he became the swamp, and still everybody's just LARPing like he is the biggest existential threat in the world when we're kind of tightrope walking along to World War III. I think it's ridiculous, and I think it's clownish, and I think people need to fucking stop. Wake up and look at the world around you. There are far bigger problems than Orange Man bad. Not gonna lie, your favorite leftist YouTuber is probably a bigot, an abuser, a sex pest, or an enabler of those who are. Yes, even the good ones who sometimes selectively call out one or two of the dirtbaggier ones for the same stuff. To be perfectly honest, I think it's a much better take to assume that your favorite leftist YouTuber is probably a Fed. Okay, so the COVID fear-mongering is a little more insane than I had even initially anticipated. COVID is back in town, mind. Just had a dose myself, started with sinus pain. Not as horrid as Omicron, but it wasn't a fun time. I have so much COVID snot, it's leaking out my eyes. This round of the plague is vile. Okay, I'm sorry, they're making comics about this shit now? Jesus Christ. And I swear to God, I cannot go absolutely anywhere on this app without running into more Trump derangement. I'm beginning to wonder if Trump is going to be the GOP nominee in 2024. Seems as if his political support is slowly slipping away. Holy shit, Chuck, I think you're delusional. His support isn't slipping slowly away because nobody can shut the fuck up about it. I hope his supporters do end up making Trump the 2024 Republican nominee. Why? Because nobody can unite Democrats more than Donald Trump. That was proven in 2020. I cannot imagine anyone else, including Biden, who's able to do that. I'm sorry, but it's always going to be funny to me how many people pretend Donald Trump and Joe Biden are such polar opposites. These two people govern virtually identically. They're both capitalists. They both don't care about you, and they both serve the rich and powerful. When Trump got in, nothing much changed, and when Biden got in, nothing much changed, and you could argue a lot of shit actually got worse, which given how poorly Trump governed, that's a bit of an achievement now, isn't it? And there you have it, that's Blue Sky. Is it a new contender for Twitter? Or is it yet another echo chamber? I do think it's a little soon to tell as of this moment, but given all the things we went through together, I'm not exactly hopeful. That being said, am I hopeful for the future of Twitter as X, especially given who Elon's putting at the helm of it? Fuck no, I'm not. If you ask me, I think everybody should probably check out Substack and Substack Notes, because that might be the alternative that a lot of people are looking for. It remains to be seen whether or not the Bird app will crash and burn in a spectacular fashion, or if Blue Sky will actually take off and stop being an echo chamber filled with one narrative or another. That's just my experience though. I'm really curious, what's your experience on Blue Sky been like? Do you agree with me that there are some red flags there? Do you love Blue Sky? Has it become your Twitter alternative? Either way, I'd love to hear everybody's experiences on Blue Sky or other social media platforms that you may have discovered in your frantic attempts to get away from Orange Man, or much more validly, a platform that is essentially a tool of the World Economic Forum.